Hello, everybody. This is Album Brothers. The voice you're listening to right now is Alexis's. And as per usual, I'm joined by the wonderful Michaela.
Hello, everyone. Whoop, 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 whoop. A round of applause for Michaela.
Yeah. Woo.
The best host of Album Brothers.
Yeah, we'll let the audience decide that. Don't make me put up a poll, because I will.
Oh my god, that would be so savage. But
I don't think either of us really want to see the results of that, to be fair.
I say we do it. We're on episode 21. I think it's time we know the truth. Who's holding this show up? Whose back is breaking for this show? We're not competitive, guys. We're good.
Kyla's not competitive, is what she meant to say.
I'm actually not. I'm a lovely person. I'm a lovely team worker. This is now turned to an interview. Anyway. Anyway, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good. I hope our guests are good as well. Yeah, so I guess what have we been listening to this week?
Yeah, so it is a great pleasure for me to announce that on our 21st episode, we listened to Song Machine Season 1, Strange Timez by Gorillaz. And this has been a long time coming for me. They started releasing singles and music videos at the end of last year, I want to say, at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And I've been on top of it from the very second they announced it, because guess what, guys? The Gorillaz is fully my jam.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I've been listening to them for, well, probably decades, but probably seriously for about a decade or more. And I love them. I love them. I don't know how to describe it. But Song Machine is it's a very an eclectic mix of music, I would say.
Yeah.
I think even more so than some of the previous albums, the sounds that they're sort of exploring in this album and the types of songs that have been produced, I think, are very, very different in a lot of ways to some of the other stuff, but also very much it still has that kind of Gorillaz-y vibe through a lot of the tracks as well. Obviously the whole point of the Gorillaz is that no two albums sound the same, as I'm sure a lot of you who are fans will know. But I did find that this one had that extra I don't know, it was weird. There was way more international songs in there. There was a good few tracks where I didn't understand what was being sung, which was kind of cool. And the featuring artists as well, I think, were very well selected, and they pulled out some pretty big guns throughout the album as well this time round. So it's
I think this album, I found it to be more collaborative than their other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed to be filled with loads and loads of different names, from Elton John to Skepta to Fatoumata. It's it's quite a lot. It's 17 tracks with about 17 or more artists.
Yeah, to be fair, exactly. Which is interesting because Gorillaz fans, they're a picky bunch, as I'm sure you guys listening will know. So I think there's this massive kind of divide in the fan base. So you got the first two albums, which were kind of less collaborative, so focused more on Damon Albarn's voice and whatever. But then the albums sort of after that are way more collaborative, and I think that's where a lot of people get turned off, because they're just oh, this isn't what I really wanted from them. But then there are a couple not so collaborative albums in between, so everyone should have a little bit of everything. But it's hard to keep up. They're musicians, Sorry, I'm sure you can hear the excitement in my voice talking about this.
It's really exciting, actually. Yeah, you are I didn't actually really notice this. So yeah, as I told you, like in the week, because obviously this album came out on Friday. I had a little bit of time to just listen back to their old stuff. So I went back to listen to Gorillaz. I went back to listen to Demon Days, and then I've not actually heard Plastic Beach like properly. I think I just listened to a couple of songs and I was like, okay, sure. But I didn't actually like listen to it. And so I took some time to listen to Plastic Beach as well. Yeah, there is definitely like differences in their albums. They take like such huge steps. I think with Gorillaz and Demon Days, it seemed to be like little steps, I guess, like further. So like, yeah, it kind of, I don't like the sounds kind of changed. So you listen to Gorillaz, it's different. You listen to Demon Days, it's like a bit more like, I don't know, progressed. Like it's got more sounds in it and so on. And I guess also the timing. Like I don't know, Gorillaz is in 2001, Demon Days is 2005. Like there's more sounds that are coming along, more artists that come along. But yeah, I actually found this time listening, I loved Demon Days more. And Plastic Beach, I was kind of like, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, kind of, like, I can see why, how people could possibly be divided into this. And I think you were talking about Humans, but I didn't actually get a chance to listen to Humans.
Yeah.
So one day.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I also think, for me, part of it is, as somebody who's been like a very like long time Gorillaz fan, I think the first album I listened to all the way through was Demon Days, and I went back to Gorillaz. But then I had to wait like 4 years for the next one, and then like 5 years for the next one. So it's like, there's a little bit for me, I think, of just like being so like enraptured in it all that I was like, I think, I don't want to call it bias, because I think I genuinely do appreciate pretty much everything that they put out. Like I'm not like just pretending. I think it's all just like really, really solid. But I think definitely like the gaps between the albums are like part of like the whole thing, because obviously as an animated band they have like their own like story, there's like lore and stuff, like the actual characters and stuff. So there's a lot of like that sort of thing that goes along with it as well, which is really interesting, especially as a fan. So yeah, but then like in the most recent years, so they have released, I want to say like 3 albums in maybe 4 years. I think that's the numbers we're looking at right now. So Humans, then Now, and then Song Machine. Which just came out. So there's been like this big like just like barrage of stuff, and I am loving every second of it. I know, I think for a lot of people, again, this will be sort of like a downward like thing for them, but I do think that everything that they do is pretty much fantastic. So I have absolutely no issues listening to more Gorillaz at all.
Seeing as you're excited, do you want to get started?
Me? On my own show? Crazy. No,
go on, you wild fan. So what, I guess, I don't know if there is anything more you want to add to what you loved about the album, and then your top 3 tracks, and I guess what you love about them tracks.
Yeah, so, but yeah, before I get into the top 3 then, I do want to say that I think this album is just amazing. It's great. I think, for me, the thing that I love most about the Gorillaz albums is not what's similar, but what's different. I love how crazy the sounds can be and how unexpected the sounds can be, especially when you listen to them for the first time. Like, I'm sure even like this week when you're listening to Plastic Beach and how different it is to Demon Days, that was actually part of like my favorite part about it. And listening through this, like obviously I've been listening to the single since like the beginning of the year, so I knew that it was going to be like quite different. But even listening to the album, I was still surprised, which I was so happy about. Like, I was just like, oh, even the tracks I didn't know about are so good. I was so, like, happy. I was like, there's always this fear that, when one of your artists releases a new album or new music, that it's not going to be to your liking. And I was just like, every time a track ended, I was like, okay, that was good. And then the next one I play, like, yay, it's still good.
It passed the test.
It did,
like,
it did.
The
Alexis barometer has been, like, filled up. But yeah, so top 3 tracks. Now, again, as I'm sure you guys can tell, this has been quite tricky for me. So I might say more than 3, just depending on how I'm feeling at the end of the 3 that I say. But I was going to start with The Lost Chord. So The Lost Chord is like this, like, funky kind of like, I want to say like 80s synth kind of sound. And the vocals on it are just so smooth. And like following after The Valley of Pagans, which is the second track on the album, it just slaps. It's just this super smooth, I can't describe it. It's just super smooth. Like Damon sounds great. Lee John, his vocals are absolutely phenomenal. The production quality is just spot on. And it is just a bop. It's just a funky little bop, and I love it. I love the Gorillaz. I love it. So yeah, that is.
Maybe I'll count how many times you said love in this episode.
Oh, I try and stop myself from now. I don't want to be another statistic.
No, you're gonna be now. You've done it. Yeah, I agree with the Lost Chord. Actually, I think I kind of forgot about that song because it was like at the beginning, and a lot of the tracks that I liked were like towards the end. So I kept on, when I was like trying to select, I kept on going to the end. But yes, The Lost Chord was a very very good song. Strong start to the album.
Absolutely. Then there's Pac-Man. Again, this one's a little bit more like up tempo, like funky kind of thing, and. The thing for me about this song is the way the track progresses, because it starts off in this kind of like happy-go-lucky way. It's got this like really like poppy synths, and it's like really up-tempo, and it sounds happy. Obviously, with all Gorillaz songs, you really got to like pay attention to the lyrics to find out what the hell you're listening to.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's great. The music video as well is super cool. I don't know if you got to see it, Michaela.
No, this can't be the one time
I know,
saw the
videos.
videos.
Watch it. No, I've been watching these videos for about 8 months, so yeah, there's no chance.
Okay, I think I knew that they released some videos for the ones that were like you know, that like some of the songs that they released as singles. I knew that they released them, and I think I had to look at one, even though I don't remember which one it was. But I was like, no, surely like all the videos are not done by now, like, and I kind of just like left it, but I should have checked it.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 or 8 videos they released for the album. So in your own time, Michaela, I would recommend it.
Well.
They're all very different as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Much like the album itself. But yeah. So Pac-Man starts off this kind of like happy-go-lucky kind of tune. It's about this guy talking about addiction, I presume, and how you can sort of get sucked into it. And then it switches about halfway through. It just becomes like a very somber song. And then when the beat comes back in again, it's Schoolboy Q rapping about like growing up in the hood. And it was so good. The bars, the flow, it was just like, whoa. I wasn't expecting it at all. And it was just like, I remember when I first heard it again a couple months ago, I was like, whoa, this is really good. Like, it really, really just got me, like, right in that sweet spot for me of like what the Gorillaz is. It's this combination of this like Britpop superstar, and he's like, do you know what? I feel like doing a song with Schoolboy Q today, and he just picks him up the phone book and is like, hey, write a track for me or whatever, and he just comes on and just absolutely destroys it, and it's like, oh man, it was so good. And even like the abrupt end of the song was like actually quite like satisfying in a weird way. It was like the song, it's just like he says his last word and the track ends. I think it makes like a Pac-Man like death sound or whatever, and it's just like, damn, like it just blew me away at the end of that track, especially. I've got to choose another one. Okay, I'm gonna choose. I hope yours are different. That's what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna go with Désolé as my number 3.
Hey, yes. Okay, I did kind of choose that, but it's because it was Fatoumata was in it. It was like, I know, right? And I noticed it straight away. I was like, It's like, hold on, this is very familiar.
Yeah.
It's like, this is reminding me of Disclosure
Yeah.
vibes with, that song, Mali Mali. And I was
Yeah.
like, who is this person? Because I was listening to this album and I was not looking at what I was listening
No, me
to.
neither. Yeah.
So I had to do, I had to go back and really figure out what songs I listened to. Yeah, so I looked at the tracks and stuff, and I was really happy to see, Fatimata's name in it. I was actually
Yeah.
really, really happy. I think
Yeah.
she is so sick. Like, I honestly find her so cool. I just want to hear more of her. I hope she keeps on coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know like where this resurgence for her has like come from, but I'm all for it because every
Hell
time I've
yeah.
seen her, I saw her on Colours, and then I think I saw her actually on this song first before the Disclosure song.
Oh,
Because this was one of the
okay.
earlier music videos that came out. It was, again, very cool music video. But the
I
track
see.
is just... It's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's her and Damon singing in French, I presume. And her vocals on this track are just top notch. Like, I cannot express how much I love
Yeah.
her voice because she is just such a talented vocalist. And again, the song, it just progresses so nicely through itself that like you just kind of gripped just from the opening, like Désolé,
Yeah.
and you're like, we're going on a journey, guys. It's so good. But yeah, I just think like the build up, like the middle, the ending, it just like really, really worked for me as a song, and it has again that kind of like Gorillaz-y like collaboration that you can only ever really dream of. It's like, I mean, Damon Albarn, he can sing, and his voice carries like a certain level of emotion that I think actually a lot of other artists struggle to find actually in the way that they sing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not the best vocalist, but when he sings,
No.
you know how he feels in the song.
Yeah, he's a really interesting singer. He's like, I mean, it's weird. I don't know what you call these people. Like, they sing, they like, they can sing, they can hit the notes, they like hold notes, but they're not singers. I don't know, but they do sing, so it's like non-singer singers, but somehow they're making it work. It's like I feel like they're meant to be in music, but they're just not like that. That's not. They're not meant to be like singers. They're meant to be like musicians or something. But somehow they make it work with their voice. Yeah, he's definitely one of those. But yeah, you do get like I do find some of his singing actually really cool. Like, especially with what he's talking about. And how he's just really connected to what he is talking about. I think I found that a lot in like in Plastic Beach. With this one, I think I just need more time to listen to it. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note as well, actually, that like the album only came out a couple of days ago, so this is like our very, very initial impressions of what we're listening to.
Yeah,
and I'm sure like over time, be that days or months, that our opinions will like alter and change as they do with Gorillaz albums in general. I think.
Yep.
Every time you go back to one, it just kind of hits different, doesn't it? If I'm completely honest, that's just how it is. But yeah, Désolé, I think it's great. And again, for those of you who've seen the music video, it's a very simple music video, but it's super cool. It's 2D and Fatimata on a boat, cruising what looks like through the south of France. And it's just so cool, man. It's a real boat as well. That's important to note. It's a real boat.
That's really cool. That must have been really hard to film, but really cool.
Yeah, good point. It was, again, it's a very simple video, but it was very, very cool and effective. I'm going to save my special mentions for after you do yours, Michaela, because I have a feeling I'll have more to say.
Okay.
Something's telling me I'm going to have more to say, but go on. Yeah, any thoughts before you go into your top three, or you want to just
Yeah, I think I said this to you earlier. So I've had like mixed feelings with this album, and I think maybe a lot of people will find it too, as you said, because you kind of were like expecting like people to have like either they would like it or they would not, because there's quite a lot of change. And that was the reason why I kind of was like, oh, this is quite a lot of change, because I was listening to like Demon Days and like Gorillaz, not even like Plastic Beach was okay for me, but like this was like going a bit closer to Plastic Beach but further away from the earlier albums. But in other ways I did like the fact that it was a like a collaboration, like a collaboration album. So it's like it felt like a collection of yeah, of all these like amazing collaborations that are happening. And I don't know, I don't know what they were, what like it sounded like they kind of wanted to try like different things and like experiment. Yeah, which in some ways can be good, but in some ways it can feel quite weird to listen to. But yeah, it's like mixed feelings, because like some of the songs are like really really good, but as a whole album, I don't know whether I would like save the whole album, because I found, yeah, it was a bit too much. But and also because yeah, it's weird to say this, especially following on from what you said, but yeah, so for me it didn't feel like a Gorillaz album.
Oh no, not weird. You too, Michaela, not you too.
I know. Which is really weird, and it's kind of like stupid to say, because yes, they are like, they do keep on changing their sounds, but like for me, I was like, oh, Gorilla sounds, yeah, that's the album starting from from Gorillaz all the way to Demon Days. What was the other one? What was the other album? There was another album. Yeah, but there's also another album in between. I think I liked
Humans? The Now?
No, but after, I think you told me to listen to it. Oh, Humans. Oh, I will listen to Humans. So I haven't listened to it. But yeah, up until this Plastic Beach, I was like, oh, that's the sound of like Gorillaz. This one, I don't know if I completely like feel like it's like Gorillaz. But yeah, interesting. But saying that, you go to the top 3 tracks, and I was madly in love with these tracks. So number 1 track, and literally like first place, is With Love to an Ex with Moonchild.
Oh, it's so good!
How did you not put that in your top 3? That was
because
like,
there was too many to choose from.
I thought that was so good. Like literally the moment I heard it, I loved it. Like literally the first listen. I just thought it was so beautiful. It sounded like, I don't know, it just sounded so cool. It brought me back to the sounds that I loved with Gorillaz. That's like that, like, the hip hop and this like punk rock mix.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's what I love about the Gorillaz. So I was really happy that I like came back, and like with like a little bit of an alternative like twist, because they like altered the voices and stuff with some of the rap and like singing bits that were happening. But yeah, anyway, I've not heard about Moonchild before, so I don't know if I should be as well. I think I should know about Moonchild. She looks really cool.
Neither, but
she is so cool, and she looks really cool. So I was like, I feel like I should know about this person. So yeah, definitely gonna go ahead and like listen to Moonchild and see if we can find an album that we can possibly review as well. Yeah, so anyway, with the sounds, I really loved like this xylophone sounds in it, or bells. I thought that was really sick. And yeah, again, it's all about the rap and the singing. I just thought it was so sick. And the slow beats as well. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, it's such a moody like sounding song, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, so in the song, Moonchild is basically rapping about like these exes that are just trying to get in their DMs all the time, and it's just like, I don't need you fuckboys in my life anymore. Like, go away. Like, nothing I do is good enough for you, so just leave me alone. And it's just like, again, it was one of those moments where when the song started, I was like, what is this? Like, and I'm just thinking about listening to this song like in a concert space. Like, like, imagine this is like the opening track to like a concert. I'd be on the floor. I'd be like, I can't go on anymore. It's too much for my heart to take. It was
so good. It was so good.
It is so phenomenal. Good choice.
So yeah, definitely. I think Moonchild Stanley, she like, I think just like sold the song to me. Absolutely beautiful, very very beautiful like collaboration. And yeah, next one is Désolé, literally for all the reasons that you said. Loved just listening to Fatoumata again, those sick vocals, that African style, like singing, really, really beautiful. And like also again, it has that it has a different vibe to it, which is one of the things I did enjoy about this album. You get to have like these mixture of like different vibes. Like this one, with Love to an Ex, it has its own like mood, like don't fuck with me like mood. Désolé is like this like chill like bedroom chill Sunday sound, like for me at least. Like,
Yeah.
like it was placed, like you can place it somewhere, you can place those moods somewhere, and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Pac-Man for me as well.
Do do
Um,
do do do.
I did put that, but like now I'm kind of like, maybe it was the lost chord. I don't know, but anyway,
Oh,
I just,
see.
it's hard. I'm like so annoyed at this album because like some of the tracks are like so good, but
Yeah.
like as an album, I'm not entirely sure if I love it, but like I
Mm-hmm,
love the
mm-hmm.
tracks.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I quite like the lost chord. Anyway,
Yeah.
Pac-Man I thought was really cool. I just, again, I think it's the sounds of like Gorillaz that I like, which is this like fusion of hip hop and like rock. Even though
Mm-hmm.
I guess with this one it was more close to like the hip hop sounds, and that was really cool.
Mm-hmm,
With the
mm-hmm.
with the lost chord, yeah, it's that like I don't really know. It's like a new sound which I've not heard, at least from Gorillaz, which is like
Mm-hmm.
this like jazzy,
Yeah.
chill thing going on. I feel like I
Yeah.
should re-listen to the track to tell you more of what I actually liked. But beautiful,
Yeah.
um, yeah, beautiful, beautiful track.
I completely agree. I think you're right. It was a new sound, not in the world, but for the Gorillas, which is
Yeah,
again part of the reason why I like them, because I don't think they're genre agnostic, right? They don't actually make a music of a type of music, right? But they always make music in lots of different styles, and it's always like their own like almost like take on it. And like even with this
yeah,
album, I felt like there were a lot more like not hip hop black sounds, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm,
So like one of the tracks, Opium, which I absolutely adore as well, it's got Earth Gang sort of rapping on it, and it starts and it opens and you're like, oh, what kind of music is this? What's going on here? And then like this Afro beats like drum beat kicks in, and I was like,
yeah,
no, no, they got me again.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just I guess for the same reason I probably absolutely adore this album. I can imagine it being like, as I was saying, like Gorillaz
yeah,
don't make Afro beats. If you're expecting like Damon Albarn and a piano, like in some of the older songs, then
yeah,
yeah, this is like as far from that as they've gone so far, I would say.
yeah,
Which again, it's music is music, right? Everyone's got their preferences and whatever. I mean,
yeah.
some people are wrong, but that's
Sure.
okay. That's okay.
But it's annoying though because it's like a very specific thing that I'm annoyed about. So
Mm,
yeah, as I said, like I was just like, if I listened to this album, I wouldn't tell you it was good. It was the Gorillaz. Like I like some of the
mm,
tracks I was listening to, I was like, how am I meant to know that this is the Gorillaz? Where is their signature sounds?
mm.
Um, which mildly annoyed me because like they do have signature sounds. Where what happened to it? Like, and it's tricky. It is tricky, I know, but like, when we listened to Disclosure, we kind of knew this is a
Yeah.
Disclosure sound, and they
Mm-hmm,
kept their
mm-hmm.
sounds, but they still explored. I kind of wanted that, and I
Mm.
didn't get it. I don't know what happened. Maybe I should just listen to it again. But no, I was like, I don't know where
Yeah.
are these sounds.
I think it's a tricky thing though, and I think this will happen with probably most musicians that people listen to, right? But like,
Mm,
if you take all the musicians that you like and like, just as an example anyway,
yeah.
like most of them have recorded maybe 2 or 3 albums, they kind of, there's a little bit of evolution
Yes.
between them, but it's probably not that drastic. Like Disclosure, for example,
Mhm.
the first album and the last album are pretty similar, as the second one is similar to the third one and to the
Mhm.
first one in that way. But like, the Gorillaz been making music for over 20 years at this point. Like, you're looking at probably 21 or 22 years that they've been releasing like tracks as the Gorillaz. Plus,
Yeah.
Damon Albarn was like in Blur for like 10 years before that. So it's like
Yeah.
this like legacy, right? And I think the reason that I appreciate it so much, and again, this might be like my bias showing, or maybe it is just because I have such an eclectic taste in
Mhm.
music. I just I love the fact that there isn't actually a signature sound to them.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
the only genuinely signature sound is Damon Albarn's voice. It's 2D. When he comes on
Yeah.
the track, that is like, oh yeah, that's enough of that for me that I can take it. And like I think not that it upsets me, because again, opinions are opinions, but like when people are like, that's not quite the Gorillaz that I was looking for, it's not quite the sound I'm looking for. Not to say that it's even an invalid response, because I agree. If your first album was Demon Days and then you went back to Gorillaz, those are two like quite similar albums that sound fantastic, and they have that,
and they're close to each other as well, time wise.
Yeah, and they got a fresh, like, for the time they were fresh, and then like between each other they were great, and then you got Plastic Beach in there, which again strays a little bit, but not like massively.
Yeah.
But then like those 3 albums happened then, and then like they released 4 albums after that. So actually the majority of their work is not that classic sound anymore, if that makes sense. It's just very interesting to me that like 20 years later people are still kind of like not clamoring for it, because obviously it's there, but you know, I think that is the part that's interesting to me. I am excited whenever they release an album about how different and weird it's going to be, and how unlike all the other ones it's going to be. I really liked Humans, but people were like, it's not Gorillaz, and I hate to just be that fanboy on the air right now. I actually, I'm listening to myself, I'm like, come on, get a grip, man.
I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know it was a thing that where people are like, oh, this is Gorilla sound. No, this is Gorilla sound. I mean, it's interesting because I think, like, thinking about it from what you said, I guess the Gorillaz with their the first couple of albums, that was weird. That was a weird album for its time. So I guess they maybe they're just like moving with the times. I don't know. But I just really loved that. Like, I really, really, really loved those sounds. Like, I thought they were so good, because I love rock. Like, I really, really do, and I love hip hop. So it was like,
the perfect amalgamation.
Literally the perfect thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's one of those things where I think the Gorillaz are unique in the respect that they are essentially a rock band. Especially at the beginning, they were a rock band that kind of introduced like hip hop into it. So like, for a lot of people who were like, oh, I love like Blur or whatever, I'm going to listen to the Gorillaz. Well, actually, that was before they knew that the Gorillaz was Damon Albarn, because that was a whole mystery for about 10 years. Anyway, besides the point.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't believe my brain's stuck. But yeah, exactly. I can imagine, like, if that's the thing that drew you in and it got you to listen to these funkier sounds, and then they've just gone so far away from it that you're like, actually, no, that's not for me. I've got no qualms with that, really and truly.
Yeah.
As much as I just want people to love it as much as I do. Like, the Gorillaz are like my Jack Garrett, I would go as far as to say.
I mean, I can see that. I can see.
Like, my Song Machine art book is on its way in the post right now. Like, that's like the levels we're talking about here.
That's so cool. That's really
excited.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
There was one thing I did want to add. I'm trying to remember it now. Oh, okay. So this really annoyed me, and I can't. Okay, this is a legit complaint, right? There was one track, and I can't remember which one it is, but we had a mumbling rapper, and I was so mad.
Are you talking about the Pink Phantom with Elton John?
No, maybe it is that one. Wait, is there another rapper in that actually?
Yeah, it's
another
Black.
rapper. Because Elton John is a rapper. Oh, 6 Lack. I do love them. I don't think it's them.
Okay, you don't think?
Wait, let me just check. Oh no, maybe it is them.
Because I love that track. It's so good. I think Elton John is fantastic. It made me want to go and like listen to all of his work, because his vocals again are just top notch. And like, I hate to go into another track right now, but like, it's just like a very simple. It's just the bass and the piano and the voices, and it's just like. It just ticks all the boxes for me. And that's the thing, like, and that's what I love about the Gorillaz so much, is that I think Damon knows his limitations, right, as an artist, right? He knows that when he sings, he is best at like transporting like emotions through what he's saying and how he says it, right? But then when he needs like a powerful voice, he's like, look, that's not me. But he also has this like, I feel like he's got like just a library of like sounds that people make, and he's like, actually, this person would fit perfectly on this track, and I think we should like get them. And at this point, the Gorillaz are big enough that they can get Elton John and Beck and Schoolboy Q and
Yeah.
Skepta and Kano, and it's just like on one album. It's just
I
like
know.
crazy. It's crazy.
The list of artists is pretty cool. Six Lack or Black, I don't know how you say them.
I think it is Black, yeah.
There's Black. All right, cool. I love them. I do like them, and I was listening to their songs a while ago. I was happy to see them like be back in this like appear in this album.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very like interesting like collaboration. Yeah, Elton John. Sure. I was so surprised. I was like, wait a minute, what? What's going on here? But that was like a weirder, wonderful track. Yes, like I hear that. But yeah, 17 songs. That is quite a lot.
It was lengthy. Yeah.
Yeah, and quite a lot of like experimentation going on in there. I think. Yeah.
It's divisive one, right? I think it's quite interesting. I think I think it's almost good then that we have differing opinions, because I think we probably cover both aspects of, let's say, the Gorillaz fan base, if you will, and especially because you've listened to the other albums so recently.
Yeah.
You probably got that feeling like to that like in its purest form, right? Because I would probably feel the same. I think if I'd listened to the first two like last week and then was like, okay, there's the third one and then here's this one, I think I'd probably feel exactly the same. But I wonder, for me, in my head, I'm like, if the albums were released backwards, would you feel the same way? Is it just like you got accustomed to it and you're like, oh, I don't really want to go...
I think that's what it is. I just wanted those sounds back because nobody's creating those sounds. Like, I don't...
That is true.
So I'm like, can you please bring it back? Like, where are you? Like, if anybody knows anyone that's creating sounds like the Gorillaz in the Gorillaz album, I want to hear that. But right now... I don't know. They're not like I need to like really really dig for them and I can't see them. So I think that was partly the reason I was annoyed, like that those sounds aren't there. And then secondly, that they were I kind of also just felt like they were too experimental. Like I felt like Plastic Beach was like I don't know what the better word is, but acceptable for me. And then it's horrible. I'm a horrible person.
No, but it's fine.
It was like an acceptable form of like experimentation, and then this was like too far. I was like, no, come back, just come back a bit, like come back into the box. But hey, you know, if it works and it works for some people, and it's just an opinion thing, then there it goes. But yeah, for me. Just it's so annoying though, because it's not like all the tracks. I did like some of the tracks. Also when I was listening to Plastic Beach and this one, right, his singing reminded me of Mike Skinner.
There's a little bit of that, especially in the Plastic Beach. There's a couple tracks on there as well that I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think it was probably Rhinestone.
And exactly, Rhinestone Eyes.
I was like, excuse me, is this Mike Skinner in this?
Is he in here somewhere? Are you in here, Mike?
But no, I found out that's just, Thingy's sound, and he just has it. I mean, he's kind of like speaking with the songs rather than attempting anything else. So, I mean, it kind of...
It's the style of that song specifically as well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a style. Yeah, weird. But yeah, very interesting album. Also, I just love the title, Strange Timez.
Yeah,
also, sure. Season 1, are we expecting season 2, 3, and 4 and stuff like that? What's going on?
So the news is that I think season 2 will be coming out next year. And then I think they've got a deal with Netflix to release an hour-long movie as well. So... I'm all in, baby.
What? Shit. I definitely want to watch that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So tune in for episode 100 when we're reviewing the Gorillaz again. Maybe... no, we'll talk about it after, yeah. The point is, because I know, obviously, your criticisms were your criticisms. They didn't quite match up with mine, but I do have some criticisms.
Yes. Definitely. Continue. Tell me.
So this happens with me a lot with, actually, the Gorillaz in general. But for the life of me, on a lot of these tracks, I have no idea what Damon Albarn's saying. I cannot even try and make out what he's saying. Like, I feel like people are singing in other languages, and I'm picking up their sounds more clearly than him in a lot of the tracks.
What is he doing? Huh? What is he doing that he's like...
I don't know.
Hiding. Is
But
he
like,
hiding?
I think as well. So this album was like partly recorded at the end of last year, but then
Okay.
partly recorded in quarantine. I think
Oh.
in the song "Opium," the one with Earth Gang, they actually are talking about quarantine in it. So like that's how recent it all is.
Whoa.
But yeah, I just think maybe it's just because they weren't allowed in the studio or whatever. But some of the mixing is just like a little bit off for me. In terms of like the vocals, I was even like messing around with my equalizers to try and like pick
Oh
out more.
my
But
lord.
it's been an issue for me throughout all of the albums. There'll be some that are really clear, like I understand exactly what you're saying, like
Yeah.
you know, stylo or whatever, and then there'll be like another track, and you'll be like, I've got no clue what you're saying right now.
That's kind of like a pet peeve for me, but I kind
Yeah.
of I didn't get to the stage where yeah, as I've told you before, like I listen to the music first and just like
good point.
sounds rather than like the lyrics. And then I listen to the lyrics. But obviously with this short amount of time I've just been listening to like the music and I do really have time to like explore what they're saying.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no. I feel like if I do hear this a bit more, yeah. That kind of is, yeah, it is an issue. It's quite annoying. Yeah. I hear that. I hear that.
And it's wild for me because I've been to 2 live like Gorillaz concerts and I'm singing words that are not right, and I'm like, how? I've been listening to this music for 15 years. How am I wrong still?
That is so embarrassing.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But again, other than that, I think it's a fantastic album. I think the new sounds are just sweet as. I think the collaborations are well regarded. And even the more out there stuff, I think will potentially grow on people, much like with some of the other albums as well. But to each their own. Not everyone's gonna like this one. It's a lot of music. It's a lot of different music. It's like a collection of just like weird like ideas.
Yeah.
But I really liked it.
Yeah, I think with like releasing like experimental sounds.
But is it experimental or is it just Gorillaz?
I don't know. For me, it was like experimental sounds, and then because that's when you get like this like mixed crowd of is it good? Is it? I don't know. I think they've always been experimental, but yeah, like I guess as we go on, they just get more experimental. So yeah, I think this is the most experimental I've heard, and it's just quite surprising in some ways, but some ways it does work.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
But
actually, before we wrap this up, there's one more thing I'd like to sort of talk about this album that I think is quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
So what they did, so you got the official album. I think I listened to the deluxe version, but I don't know if there's any extra albums or any tracks or anything in it.
Same. I listened to deluxe, but I couldn't find anything else that was not deluxe.
So maybe that's just what they've called it. This is the deluxe version. But the Gorillaz, the band, is made up of obviously the 4 characters. You got 2D, Murdoch, Noodle, and Russell. And what they did with this album is each of them have released their own mix of the album. So there's a 2D mix, there's a Murdoch mix, there's a Noodle mix, and there's a Russell mix. Yeah, I think they're all available. So it's just the same tracks, just in a different order.
Really? I'm intrigued now. Maybe there will be something that I do like.
Yeah, maybe it's just the way that's arranged and stuff like that. But obviously, there's no way to know until you listen to all 4 of them. We're like, well, that hour 5 felt a little bit different to the last hour 5. Yeah. So there's that.
How? That is so mad.
That's so cool, man.
So cool. Like,
I think it's so cool.
You never, like, I don't know. I've never had that before where like people send, people in their like band just mix it up differently. That's so cool. That is sick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think I do see it on Spotify. It says 2D, Russell Hobbs, Birdos, and so on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Hell yeah. Okay, I'll give that a listen. No, do that right away.
Absolutely. But yeah, is there anything more you wanted to add then on Song Machine?
No, that was it. Mixed reviews, everyone. This is it for you. This is No, I don't really have anything else to say. I guess let us know. Let us know which team you are for, Team Alexis or Team Michaela.
Yeah, do you know what? The poll's going to go up. The poll's going up.
But yeah. Let us know. Let us know what you think about this album. What you like, what you didn't like, and so on. And get listening. Obviously, it's only been out since Friday, and well, we're recording this on a Monday, and yep, that's it.
Exactly. And let us know what you think of this video as well. Actually, for those of you watching on YouTube, this is our first video review of sorts. You'll see what it looks like when you're watching it anyway. You'll know already by this point because this is the end, not the beginning.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want to see more, then let me know and I'll just keep making them. Yes. So we'll be changing things up from this point forward. Actually, so from this point forward, we'll actually be going to a fortnightly schedule for two main reasons. A, we both got a ton of stuff to do in between. Lockdown. It was lockdown, but like, it's a lot, these sort of weekly things and all the preparation and stuff in between. But most importantly, by going to fortnightly, we have more time to digest and listen to the music, I think, as well.
Yes.
I think, having that 2 weeks to really listen to an album and sort of get into it, I think will be, I think better for everyone. It'd be better for you guys because we'll know a little bit more about what we're saying. And
you'll have more time to also listen to the album like us, yeah.
Exactly. So it won't just be this mad dash. But so in 2 weeks' time we will return, and we will be listening to Alicia Keys' new album, Alicia.
Yes.
Are you a big Alicia Keys fan, Michaela?
I guess so. It kind of she it's like childhood sounds.
Yeah,
for me.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I think there is that, and I think she's got an epic voice. So hey. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't think I've listened to like a whole album of hers, so this will be really interesting.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I have either. So yeah. Again, I imagine it'll be like one of the similar to Gorillaz anyway, where I haven't heard a lot of their songs since like the 90s to now.
Yeah.
So like, it'd be interesting to see how that changes, But yeah, I mean, we'll be talking about this in a couple of weeks' time anyway. So stay frosty, everybody.
Yes.
And we will be back soon. But yeah, thanks for listening. Keep sending in the recommendations. We got some exciting stuff coming up over the next month as well. Some themed months. I'm sure you can guess what some of the themes might be, considering what time of the year we're in. But yeah, stay tuned. And yeah, updates on the Facebook and the Instagram and in our hearts.
Alright. You couldn't even say that seriously. Okay.
I wanted to play it so solid, but...
Alright. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.